Hey guys, welcome and thank you for clicking on this video. I hope you find it helpful in editing your designs in Photoshop. Now, to start with, you can purchase the design templates used in this video. I have included a link in the description box below. This particular template that we're actually going to be working on today, this was actually created by the amazing Phil at PNC Designs. I will also link their Facebook page in the description below. Now, I'm hoping that most of you here are actually here because you've already purchased this design and are wondering exactly how to edit it. So let's get started and explain exactly how we're going to run with this. So to start with, obviously, you're going to start off with something very, very basic like this. By the end of the next probably 2 videos, maybe 3, we're going to get it to looking something a bit more like this. So, but to get there, we've got quite a bit to work through, and so let's get started. So when you first receive the file, once you've obviously downloaded it, it will generally come as a zip file. So once you've gone in, unzipped it, I'm hoping that you already know how to do that. Let me know if not, and I will just show you a very short video on how to do that. So once you have extracted the zip file, you will go into the file that you've saved it in. In this case, I've just put it into the downloads. You'll go ahead, find that particular file that you want. I know from the off that this is actually the one that I need. So what I do from here is I go right click, go open with. Now we'll be using Photoshop for this. I know that many other people use a range of different products. But for ease and simplicity, I do recommend Photoshop. Like I said, there is other software out there that can be used. It's not as easy, but it can be done. Just because there is multiple layers, so Photoshop is what you need to be using in this case. Now, once you've selected it, just click OK, and there we go. We've got it open. Now, from here, if you come over to your right side, you will see down here, let me stretch that out so you can actually see that a bit more, but you will see here sort of the multi-layers. Now, you may also notice here, these have got the exclamation, and as it says, font is missing. Now, these are just the predetermined fonts. Obviously, this is what was just made of the design. If you really want to go in and sort of edit that font, you can. Absolutely, you can. You can change that to another font type of your choice. That's completely up to you. Clicking on it and going to edit it will take away the font that is on the screen in front of you. Now, to start with, obviously you're going to be wanting to put in your own family names. Now, over here on the left-hand side, you will see you've got a number of different options. You've got your move tool, you've got your magic wand, you've got your erase button. The 2 main buttons that we're going to need at this point is obviously your text tool and this move tool. So they're the 2 main ones that you're going to need to be focusing on at the moment. Now, obviously it comes with names that are already sort of there. Obviously they're not going to be the names that you want. So it's quite simple. All you do is you will make sure that your text tool is selected, and you will come over to your first line, so your first sort of column here, or anywhere you want to kind of start with your first name. So in this case, we'll start here. And all you'll simply do is you will highlight the letter and type in your first letter. Now, you could go in and change it all to capitals. You could go in and just keep it as the lowercase. Just for the ease of things, I keep it as lowercase. But as I said, you can go in and change every letter in there to a capital if that's what you want to do. Now, you then want to be moving over to either go diagonally or you want to go horizontally. And to do that, you'll notice if I try and click on the second line in, it won't just let me do that straight away. So then what you need to do is you need to come back and click on your move tool. You will then click again back onto your text tool. It does sound, there's a lot of repetitiveness in this, but it does work. So you'll then click on your next line and you will go along and you will put in your next letter. Now you'll keep repeating this just through the lines that you actually want to change and edit. And then once you have got all your names in and you're happy with that, then we move on to the next part. So just go in, have a bit of a play, just moving back and forth and typing in your letters, and we will have a look at doing the next part. So now I have got all my names hidden within my word search. What I need to actually do is to move these highlights just about here. Let me just need to go down and actually select them. So this is where your layers is really, really important. This is where you need to go in and actually find where your layers are, which ones are selected. Now, although you've got the little sort of description box here, it can actually be quite difficult to see which of the layers it has selected. Obviously, it's got the little bar. You can just about make it out, so you can kind of see which direction it's going in. But when you have multiple layers going on, it can sometimes be a bit difficult to actually find which layer has been selected. So once you have clicked on this layer, or this one, as long as it's got an eye next to it, it means that it is visible. If you go in and actually click on a layer that hasn't got a little sort of eye next to it, it means that the layer isn't visible. So if I was to go in and click on another one, you can sort of see it just behind it, or it's kind of appeared. So that's how you'll find a layer. But in this instance, that can be another easy way that you find which highlight is you have selected. So you can turn it off. In that case, there we go. We can see that it is at the bottom there. Another way that you can find which layer you have selected, and actually will allow you to move from this one, will be to select Control and T. Now that will put a highlight around it. Using your move tool, make sure your move tool is selected. If your move tool is not selected, you won't be able to move it. So making sure your move tool is selected. You, as I said, Control and T, and that will put a highlight around it. So you'll then go up to your chosen name. So here we have got Sophie. Now you can obviously make it taller, shorter, longer if need be, just by selecting the small boxes around it. So that allows you to just sort of manipulate it slightly, and to move it as to where you need it. Now, also what you can do here, so again, always making sure that you are selecting your move tool. We can sometimes click on it. Obviously, if you try to click too closely, if you're hovering sort of over a word or a letter, it will select the letter. So you kind of want to select an area where it's not within a letter, so it's not kind of getting the layers too confused. So as you can see there, I've just selected it and it's straight away down here showing me that I have selected it. Now what I will need to do, because I haven't got any that are diagonal, but I want to keep the colour, I like the colour there. So in this instance what I want to do is again Control and T. Now as you can see, this is giving me a much bigger box. Now again, it's quite simple. Using your boxes on the side of the highlight, you can then move that down, turn it around, move it around, and that will allow you to manipulate the box as you need. So we can make that slightly bigger, even slightly smaller, to sort of fit the area that we need it to fit. So if you're not too happy with the way that it looks, again, you can go in and you can sort of make it slightly thicker. Again, just by manipulating the different areas and making that so it will fit. But this is literally just for very quick demonstration purposes, so I'm not going to spend too much time on changing that around for the second. So once you're done, you can hit enter. I probably will go actually and change that one in a moment. Now, you will do this all the way along until all of your names are highlighted. So the next step that you can kind of do, say if you, like I said down here, you have got a few extra sort of highlights and things that you can use, but say if you have used all these extra layers, you don't have any left, but there's still another 2 or 3 names that you want to add in. Now there is a very easy way of doing this. You can right click and you can go duplicate layer. Now I'll bring up this box and it will, as default, it will just take what the layer's name is already and put it as another number. Or you can make it a bit simpler for yourself and you can give it its own name. So just here I will call it extra 1. Now it's highlighted that, so if I now click on that, I can now move that, but obviously it's going to be the same colour as to what is here. So we'll call the next person in our family Lump, just because it's there, we'll call them Lump. Now obviously what you again want to do is you then will want to go in, you'll want to change that, change the colour overlay again. So again, double clicking on the colour overlay, coming into here and choosing a colour that you would want to use. So that's probably the easiest way that you can add another layer with to make another highlight. Sorry, that is probably the most simplest way of doing that. Now I'm going to untick that. So once you're happy with that, you're happy with how it all looks. It's great. You know, it's as far as I think we need to take it. We've got all our family names in there. It all makes sense. We've got the highlight colours that we want. All you need to simply do then is come up to here. You will come down to export. Now, if you click on save, it will actually save it as what the template is now. So if you go save or save as, it will export it as a Photoshop item. So, but if you want to save this to put into another software, if you use another software for printing, the easiest way to do that is to actually go down to export and either export as or quick export as a PNG. So down in here we've got our name, so let's name this, and again you can name it as anything you want. So we'll put in our family option 1, because you may want to go back in and you might want to give it 5 or 6 different versions. So I always like to put a number after things that I name, so I know which version I'm actually working on. So here again you can see this is in downloads. Save it to the most appropriate place for yourself. That could be your desktop, that can be in your pictures, it could be in a pre-made file that you've already made. So you will literally click the file area that you need and you'll click save, and that is pretty much all there is to it. Obviously we will make a new video on how to add in pictures. If you're already a customer with Phil and you know you've got 2 or 3 different designs, or even if you've got another design that you haven't bought from Phil, then there will be another video on how you can add in multiple different things. So you can build on this and make it as personal as you want. So it will literally go from something like this to looking something a bit more like this. So I hope this video helps. I will start making the next video shortly, so we will have a follow-on, but I just wanted to give you the basics for now, just because I think that's been The biggest challenge, I think, is actually learning how to do this, and this is as far as we can take it for this video. So I really, really do hope it helps. As I said, all the links for Phil's Facebook page and where to buy these templates are going to be linked in the description box below. So I do hope that helps you, and thank you again for watching. Have a good day.